Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. You have found the Gamer Social Club vidcast. I'm your host, Nathan Lockhart, and we are joined by F-Bomb Fraser. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, Nathan. I'm doing well, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fan-fucking-tastic. We were just talking about not dropping the F-bomb within the first 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Right, let's roll with that. Let's roll with that.
And we got,
At least it's not monetized yet.
Exactly. We are joined by special guests today. We got Jeff here. How are you, Jeff?
What up, guys? I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. And then we got Casualties. Definitely. Already forgot your name.
Russell.
Russell.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
For fuck's sakes!
I am trying not to bake too much right now.
Yeah, it's like what, 95 you said, or 90?
The old trusty weather app at this moment loading 101.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's too much.
No, actually, yes, please. Yeah.
It's way too super humid. Like, I'm in Ohio. It's not that bad, but I hate humidity, dude.
Yeah, I think the entire West Coast is going through this right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
Here's me in Australia just freezing.
Oh, really? How cold is it down there?
Yeah. I think it's like 7 at the moment, 7 Celsius, but it was 0 when I got up.
Damn.
So chilly.
That's probably why
chilly.
You sell so much coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. See, I'm just one of those few crazy people that on a 90-degree weather day, I would still walk out with a hot cup of coffee.
Same.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been chugging coffee and water all day long.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I've had to pee every 20 minutes today, but it is what it is.
Checks out.
Gamer Social Club is a place where we come together every week to talk about what's new in the gaming world and to just talk about our favorite games or what we've been playing lately. And today, that game would be the First Descendant. So we're going to be talking about the First Descendant today. Keep your eye out because we're going to soon drop a Game of the Year halfway through the Game of the Year. I gotta find a better way to say it, but halfway through the game, let's check in on the Game of the Year halfway through the year. All right, yeah, let's go with that. So we're gonna
Game of the Year 0.5.
Yes, 0.5 Game of the Year.
Halftime show. The halftime show of the Game of the Year.
So we're gonna do that at some point this week. We'll drop that episode, and then next week we will be talking about. Fraser, what's that game we're doing next week?
Once Human.
Once Human, yeah, we're gonna do that one. So we got like looter shooter back to back, but I think Once Human's kind of more of a remnant from the ashes, right? Like,
yeah, it's like a crafty, grindy, build a house, save the world kind of nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah, should be a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And you'll see why I'm even more excited for it after playing this game. But Jeff, I want to get to know people who come on the show. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your favorite game?
My favorite game. Oof.
Yeah,
that's hard.
Easy question.
That's a brutal question, mate.
All right, come on.
Well, just the other day, I think I had a revelation that I think not Shadow of the Erdtree, but Elden Ring might be my favorite single player game of all time.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I love. I'm not like a huge Souls fan by any means. I play the ones I can, and the ones I suck at, I just don't like. Sekiro, no, could not get through that. No, I could not. I just cannot get that parry rhythm down. But after playing Erdtree, it kind of like had a revelation. But before that, I would have said huge Street Fighter fan. I have a Street Fighter tattoo on my sleeve. A Halo series has always been big with me, and the God of War series has also been really big with me.
Hell yeah!
So I would say those are the 3 series that tickle my fancy, so to speak.
So what is it about Elden Ring that made it like had you all in to the point where it's like you're not even that much of a Souls guy, but Elden Ring was like so beyond the Souls games that it's probably your favorite?
Yeah, mainly the pacing. You can take it at your own pace. It doesn't funnel you through when you hit a roadblock. You don't have to keep hitting your head against that same roadblock over and over, or else you're not playing it. Like the other ones being linear, you kind of have to do that.
Yeah.
And I thought I love the first one. It was my game of the year in what 2022, 2022 around. Yeah, I think it was 2022.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe it was recency bias, but then I went back to kind of get prepared for the DLC, and I ended up playing almost an entire playthrough again in New Game Plus. And then when I beat Erdtree, that's what I was playing nonstop. And then I just restarted New Game Plus again, and I can't stop playing it. This never happens. Like I'll replay a game twice, maybe 3 times, but nothing of something of this size, like a game that takes this, like that's that large in scale. And I think it just kind of clicked, and I was just like, you know what, this might be my favorite single player game. Like I have so much I could be playing, and I just keep going back to it, and it's content I've already done. It's not even like I'm drastically changing how I play or like a build or anything. I'm just doing it again.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I loved Elden Ring. I never finished it, which is weird because I really enjoyed it. But I was playing through it co-op with a mate, and you know how the host is the only one that progresses.
Yep.
So we were taking turns leading the game, and then we were just doing the same bit twice.
Yeah, you're basically playing through it twice in one go.
Yeah, and like I don't know which one of us just got sick of it first, but you know, the old like, "Hey, shall we play?" and then just no reply. It's like, oh, okay, I guess
the video game ghosting of online friends. Yeah,
yeah, that's
happens
right,
often.
exactly. So I couldn't even tell you how far through I got, but like I completely understand like what you're saying. Like I'm no good at Souls games. I find them very difficult.
Same.
I'm more of like the offshoot of Souls. So like I love the Surge.
Okay, like Lies of P type of deal.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
That was my game of the year last year.
Really?
Love
I was going
really.
to ask you if you played it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that game so much.
Yeah, so good. So like, but then for whatever reason, I just can't get into the actual Dark Souls themselves. I just find them so hard.
They are. Unless you really like, don't get me wrong, I cheese the fuck out of this game. Like when there was an opportunity to cheese something, I did it. Like the last boss is the hardest boss I've ever fought in one of these games. And the second I learned about a broken ass build that they nerfed yesterday, actually, I'm so happy I used it to beat him. And then before they nerfed it, and
Is that big turkey leg thing?
It is the turkey leg. Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I want to use it. And I did. I'm like, I don't care. I will
I've
put
been
up a
seeing-
poster of a turkey leg back here and be like, I'm proud I use this motherfucker.
Yeah, because
fine with
I
that.
beat it, and if you didn't beat it, then
Yep.
I'm better than you. So,
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's there to use. You can use it.
Yep,
Whatever.
that's right. Yeah.
Don't
So,
listen
yeah,
to any of those no summons BS. Like they're in there for a
Nah,
reason.
I
The game
am
is
all
built
about
to use
summon.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
sure.
actually like one of the reasons I kind of fell off pretty hard from Elden Ring was because of the nerfing, like the constant nerfing of different stuff. I'm like, I put so much work into looking for these items and finding this and that and making these builds. And that was one of my favorite parts of Elden Ring was being on Facebook. I was more of a Facebook user at the time. Like just finding these videos where like people would be like, oh yeah, have you found this weapon? You could be Darth Maul. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that as soon as I go home. So I would like legitimately, I am not a note taker. I don't like writing, period. And I was coming home writing down
here we
notes
are
of
doing-
things I want to do. And yeah, so like I would like write down and go after all this stuff. And so for me, it was like I got to this point of I put so much time into all of this equipment and it just got nerfed. And I'm like, that sucks.
Oh, that's not going to show up. Maybe it will.
Is that your
I have,
Elden
like,
Ring note?
so many builds with the stats and like all the equipment and stuff that I need.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same way, man. This game does something to me that no game really does, and I just
You're
love
not
it. If they nerf a build or something, and usually they don't nerf them that bad. It's not like it's to the point you can't. It's just like some of the turkey leg was ridiculous. Like you were taking down the regular bosses in like 3 hits. It was crazy. That's like
Damn.
almost broken. Yeah, and it turned out to be like, someone just missed a decimal point or didn't realize if you combine it with something else, this is what happens. But there's always something new. There's already broken builds already going around again now, so there's always a way.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to nerf all of them.
No,
No.
You would think.
and they won't.
No. And then
Like, I can understand, like say, I can understand nerfing stuff in like multiplayer.
Yeah.
But like when they just start to go ham on single player games, and
Yeah,
it just ruins it for me. Like you
it
said,
does. Yeah,
like I've put so
luckily
much
they're
time into.
to getting
Sorry?
all the stuff. Yeah, no, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say like PvP is where it matters. I remember one of them. I'm not sure if it was um, Mizugaki. Why am I getting his name wrong? But Miyazaki. I think it was him or something. There's a tie between the PvP and PvE, so they can't do too much to nerf the PvP without it affecting the PvE.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons. And also, there's always like see, we're having a moment right now, and I can't
Yeah.
pass it on to one of you guys because we're talking
Yeah.
about Elden Ring.
Oh, that's awesome.
But you were saying the nerfing of the PvP PvE. Oh yeah, they only nerf the really broke, the ones that are like you could tell are broken. They're not just a smart way of like combining resources. It's like one of the ones that I thought was going to be nerfed was one of the ones I used throughout a quarter of Erdtree, and it never got touched. It's still fine. Like they said there's nothing like broken about it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So it's some of them definitely need to be nerfed. But yeah, PvE stuff generally shouldn't.
Yeah, I
Not a fan.
agree wholeheartedly with that. I mean, what's crazy is something I was thinking about today, because I was playing Destiny 2 this morning, is I use the Fraser, help me out here, that blue LMG, I think it's called the Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
Do you know?
Thunder something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thunder something. That gun is just a freaking cheat code. Like, I don't understand how they have never, ever nerfed this thing. Because I remember going through, like, the past, like, 2, 3 DLCs. I don't know when it came out. But I feel like I've been using it for as long as I can remember. And I just keep upgrading it and keep upgrading it. And it's still the only exotic I ever use for PvP and PvE. Because it's just, I mean, dude, right now I'm blowing through the final shape bosses with that gun because I'm just taking out these dudes like that. And anytime I try to switch it up and use something else, it takes me a solid like 10 minutes to kill them, as opposed to the 2 seconds it would take for me to use the Thunderbolt and kill them in 2 seconds flat.
That's right.
It's
So
so
we're
broken.
going to lose Jeff talking about Destiny 2. We're going to lose him real quick. but like I'm the same. Like I run a Warlock, and I've got the Sunbracer arm pieces. So whenever I get a melee kill, I get unlimited grenades for 5 seconds. And if I'm in the air and I get a grenade kill, my melee is instantly recharged. So I can just like melee 5 seconds of grenades, melee forever.
Oh, that's sick.
And why they haven't fixed that, I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I don't even use guns. I don't even use guns at all.
Really?
I'm just like, melee, grenades,
And this
melee.
is what
Here's
class
my super.
again?
Bam, 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 bam. Warlock.
Okay.
You're playing a first-person lobber, not a shooter.
Yeah,
Lobbing
that's
those
right.
things.
And because my melee is ranged as well, so I've got a ranged melee, and then just grenades. And then by the time that's all finished, my super's ready. Fucking hammering down with some whatever I've got. Back to my melee.
Everyone's playing Halo, and he's playing Chivalry 2.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to Russell. Got you, homie. Russell, aka Casualties. So what would you say your favorite game is, and why is it Mario? For audio listeners, he has a lot of Mario stuff in his background.
It's actually not Mario, although I will say that I beat Mario 3 probably once a year.
Okay.
Same with Ocarina of Time. God, that's a little difficult. This might be a little controversial to the rest of the internet. I'm a giant Bethesda fanboy, particularly.
That's not allowed, man. Haven't you read? Haven't you seen Twitters?
Shut your
mouth, Bethesda.
Don't do it.
My to piss the internet off even more. My game of the year last year was Starfield, so there's that too. Get your
It's a brilliant game, man. It's a brilliant game.
I loved it.
I'm a giant Bethesda fanboy whose favorite Fallout is probably New Vegas, so there's that too.
Yep.
I guess right now, if you had to ask me what my favorite game is, it would probably either be New Vegas or Dead Cells. I'm like 170 hours into Dead Cells, something like that. I don't have any of you three played Dead Cells? Do you know what it is?
I played it. Yeah.
I'm looking at the image now.
I've never beat it because again, those roguelites, I'm not a big. I can't say I'm not a big fan of them because I play them. I loved Hades, what I played of it. Dead Cells was the first one I actually liked. I tried. There was that not Hollow Knight, not Shovel Knight. What was the Knight one where you're like, and you keep coming back as like a family member or something like that, or like your son?
I don't know that
I
one.
can't remember
I
what it
have
was called.
no idea what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
there's two of them. It was one of the first ones that kind of like got like really big. And then I didn't like that. I didn't like it others. But Dead Cells, I really love the art style. I love the combat in it, but I never beat it. I find those are hard, too hard for me. I do not finish those games. I'll be like, so someone will be like, "Oh yeah, yeah." I'll be like telling them, "Oh man, it's so good," but man, I'm on like my 36th run and I still can't get to the last area. They're like, "Oh, I did it and I got to the last area in like 12 runs." I'm like, "Son of a bitch!" Like what? Like I'm sitting there thinking like that's okay, but I'm not good at them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as beating it goes, it depends on what you mean. For those that didn't know about Dead Cells, I bounce back and forth between a brutality build and a tactics build. Jesus Christ. If you've never played, you have no idea what that means.
You get to play as Jesus Christ? That's amazing.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. So I'm on boss cell 3. So I've done like end game a few times. There's 5 boss cells. There's a huge difficulty spike between 2 and 3. So right now I'm struggling. So, but it is what it is. Things get. You play, you die, you play. I have no idea how many times I've died in the game. Hundreds, I'm sure. After almost 200 hours into it.
I fucking died hundreds of times in 35 minutes. So it's I'm just not good. I've never got past a third area in Dead Cells.
Right.
That could mean a few different things, but I kind of understand what you're saying. Because there's typically like you beat the first area is always the same, and then you've got
you can kind of
branch. If you have all the DLC like I do, you have like 3 or 4 different options out of the first area, and then it just keeps going. But
do you like the Castlevania DLC for it?
I love the Castlevania DLC. I actually think the music in Dead Cells for the Castlevania DLC is the best that Castlevania has ever sounded. As strange as that might seem. Yeah. I loved it. It actually was the first boss cell that I earned in it. But yeah, I'm totally hooked on that right now. And I'm bouncing between that and back into Starfield with all the updates, and then of course all the other games we've been reviewing for the site and whatnot.
Expansion soon.
When is that expansion dropping? I thought it was October.
Yeah, I think that's it's. I'm not sure if I got an exact date, but I think it's going to be around October. Yeah.
Okay. I still haven't made up my mind if I'm going to tackle that first or if I'm going to tackle the Diablo expansion. Depends.
Yeah.
Oh, I bought the upgrade for the damn Starfield before it even dropped. I was one of those guys. I bought an Xbox Series X just to play Starfield. The day after my Series X arrived was the day that it got delayed.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so I was furious. I remember getting home because everyone was trying to get a PS5 and a Series X. I had to order it off of Newegg with an extra controller just to get the thing.
Yeah.
I would still rather pay an extra $60 and get like an actual controller than pay scalper prices.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, and then the next day I got to work. I remember, I think on lunch I got on Twitter or something and saw it was delayed and like felt like crying.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
That honestly begs the question, like real quickly, did you guys ever, like with the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, did you guys end up getting it at regular price or did you have to scalp? How'd you guys come across your consoles?
Well, again, for me, I got it on Newegg, I guess you could say marked up at like $60, but again, I got it with an extra controller, so it was $560 with free shipping, I think. So
you were basically just forced
like
to
waited.
get an extra controller.
Yeah, which ended up being fine. Me and my girlfriend, ended up using the second controller, so it wasn't really that big of an issue.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
more
I-
annoying than anything else. I didn't have to pay like $800, $900 like some people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You go, Jeff.
Oh, I I went and not camped out, but I went really early to GameStop to pre-order my Series X, and I was the second last person to get a ticket. So that one I got on day one without a problem.
Nice.
My PS5, I decided to wait. I wasn't in a rush to get that right away, but they were doing a deal couple months after launch that if you traded in a PS4 Pro or PS4, you got full value back for it to trade in towards a PS5. So I basically got
Damn.
full value for my PS4 Pro, and because they were supposed to do that for the entire weekend, they cut off that promotion after one day because they got way too many people doing it. I'm sure.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Well, as you know, these are in short supply, so we can't guarantee when you're gonna get it." And this was on a Saturday when I went, and Monday they called me and said, "Hey, you can come pick up your PS5." So
Wow.
yeah, so I wasn't in a rush to get it, but I was able to get it in a weird way,
That's
for
amazing.
regular price. Oh
Yep.
wait, it was a Force bundle. Actually, now that I think about it, I did have to get a controller and a game with it, which is fine. I was gonna get another controller and a game anyway. So
What game was it?
I got Rift Apart, Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
hey,
fun.
at least it was going.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
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 What about you guys?
So in Australia, sold out everywhere. All the game stores, all the like electronic stores, everything was sold out. For whatever reason, the phone company that I have my cell phone provider through had some.
Okay.
Sorry, I already know where
I
this
don't-
is going.
I don't even know. So I was like, "Oh, can I have one of those?" And he was like, "Yeah, sweet. There you go." And I just left. And I just left with it. And
Serious?
it was like I don't even know how it happened because like say the scalpers there were people.
Are you saying you didn't pay for it or?
Oh no, I paid for it.
Okay,
I
okay.
paid
I
for
was
it.
a little confused
But-
there.
But I just paid like the normal retail price. Like
That's
there were
amazing.
people selling a PlayStation 5 on like Facebook Marketplace for 900 AUD, which is roughly maybe 16
a
or 1700 USD.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I still don't have a PS5, but I think I will be getting one, especially like with Death Stranding 2 coming out. Like I'm gonna be all over that.
Did oh, that's right. Yeah, because I was getting ready to say, I was like, oh, you like Death Stranding? And I'm like, we literally talked about this on day one,
Yeah.
and your Death Stranding PS5 right behind your head. So yeah, you
my
like
little
Death Stranding.
PS4 there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and it came with this little. It's like a little yellow from the. So there's a baby inside this, and he
Of
like
course.
carries.
no
Of
way.
And he carries it around, and it cries and shit.
That's
so
great.
it's like,
I still think they should have named that Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus. That would be great.
yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
heard that. That's great.
Yeah.
My story is I got my tax return back, and it was a pretty good tax return that year. So I was like at a crossroads of like, I'm either gonna build a PC or I'm gonna go ahead and
pay debt.
yeah. And so I clearly made the decision to get the consoles, and because it was like at the end of the day, I was like, I was gonna try to drop like I budgeted it out like 14, right? And I was like, all right, well, I'm either gonna build a $1,400 PC, or I'm gonna get both the consoles and then spend the rest of the 400 on controllers and games and stuff. And so yeah, I was like, it just makes more sense because I won't have anything holding me back. I'll be able to play any game that I want. So I'm just like, it feels like a no-brainer. For less money, play all the games. And that's just me. I just want to play all the games. I don't care what fucking platform it's on. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. I just want to play the games. And I'm so glad. But like when I got the PlayStation 5, I got both of them through bundles on GameStop. And because I was just striking out any and everywhere, and I probably got them like all of them released in November. I got them in March, I want to say. Yeah, I think I got because it was after tax return. So yeah, I got the PlayStation first. Me and my buddy were sitting out in the parking lot at work, and like we were both standing there pressing the button over and over and over and over again. We were like jumping up and down like little kids in the parking lot. We got it, we got it! And it was on the way. And then I get home, and like my brother-in-law, he's like, "I was able to get one for you too," and I was like, "Oh no." So I had 2 PlayStation 5 bundles, and I had to resell one. Don't worry, I didn't scalp it. I don't know how.
Yes, you did. Don't go.
Oh no! I promised you, I was just trying to get bare minimum out of it, just to get my money back. So that way, when the Xbox came around, I had the money.
You see this new PC I also got? Isn't that weird?
I mean, to be fair, I probably would have scalped it. But
Well, like, here's the thing: is like I thought about. Like, my initial reaction was like, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it up for auction on eBay. And if it does go for more than it's worth, that's not on me.
Yep.
My hands are clean.
That's no, exactly.
However, when I go to put it up there, I see the percentage that eBay is going to take out of it. And I'm like, just to get my money back, it was going to have to sell for like $800, $900. And I was like, what's...
Jesus.
I'm like, how are people making money off of scalping? Honestly, like, I if they're selling it on eBay anyways, just because the percentage was so high. Maybe they were like doing it specifically for consoles to discourage scalpers. I don't know, but we should probably get started with this.
I do have one quick question for you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
It's something I like to ask everybody at least the first time, and it won't take long. What is one for each of you? What is your number one hot take or your unpopular game opinion that you always get shit for?
Ooh.
That's a
I
really
can give
good
mine
question.
if you guys
I
are
like
thinking.
that a lot. Yeah, go for
Mine
it.
is I don't think Metal Gear Solid 3 is a good game.
Really? Okay.
And I get shit on all the time for that.
Yeah. All right.
Fraser, are you ready? 'Cause I'm not.
Yeah, I reckon so. I haven't got a lot of shit for this, but they did just fucking close down the company because of this game. I loved Alone in the Dark. I thought it was great. I also loved the 360 Alone in the Dark that was supposedly
Remember
shit
that
as
one?
well.
Yeah.
But I'm not someone who cares about like insane graphics or frame rates or things like that. Like if I have fun with a game, I'm gonna have fun with it. And so yeah, Alone in the Dark, it was full of nonsense. It was absolutely full to the brim of nonsense, but I bloody enjoyed it so much.
Nice. That one.
Yeah.
Russell kind of already said one of his if he can't think of one. At least recently.
No, the Starfield thing definitely came to mind. God, I didn't like Death Stranding, but I feel like a lot of people actually thought it was boring like I did.
Oh, that's another one. Love Death Stranding.
Yeah. I would say that's a hotter take than not liking it at this point.
Yeah.
Another one that might piss a lot of people off, PS4 era games. Days Gone is probably my favorite.
Oh wow, okay.
I like that better than Spider-Man. I like that better than God of War 2018.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
Now keep in mind I'm
That is very
biased.
high praise, yeah.
I'm from Salem, Oregon. That game I mean, some of the areas kind of made up, but there's places that resemble it that are around like Bend, Oregon. I don't know if it's supposed to be in Bend, Oregon. I think it is, if I remember right. It's been a while since I played it, but yeah, that's probably my favorite Sony IP as far as PS4 goes.
Stuff.
I never owned a PS4 or a PS5. I've basically full-time switched to computers, so I've played most of the ones that they've launched
Supported
on
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff, I got another
Nice.
one for you real quick.
Sure.
Assassin's Creed. I love the RPG trilogy. The
newer ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I love those more than the old ones.
Than the
Oh wow.
traditional
Okay. Yeah.
ones.
There's the hot take.
Yeah,
I was like waiting for it.
100%. I love the grand scope of everything, just how massive it is. Sure, it went away from the original what Assassin's Creed is, but I feel like it made it better than worse.
Mhm. I get that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I actually really like that. Yeah, I mean, because that's a good hot take. Because I definitely disagree with Valhalla. It was just way too big. I was kind of. I mean, I was deep in it though. Don't get me wrong. Like from the day it came out, I played it until the end of February. Like it was the only thing I touched for that whole time period. I was like sitting here trying to think because I'm like, man, I know I got some good ones. I think my biggest one, and it's real spicy, is and everybody's gonna call me biased for this, but like I don't think the Xbox One should have been hated on as much as it was on release. Even when it was announced that like, oh, it's gonna be all digital. Now, at that time in my life, I was extremely depressed about it. Don't get me wrong, because I was, a lot younger. I didn't make as much money. I was on a buy and sell used games, and that was the only way I was able to keep up and play all the new stuff. And so to me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is the end of an era. This is horrible. I think that they were ahead of the curve. They were a little too early. And at the end of the day, nothing's really changed from that original vision. Like, even I think it was Jez Corden, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was talking about how, like, even the physical games have some kind of license on them that kind of stop you from being. So I'm like, it really doesn't matter. Like, even if you watch that documentary on that Xbox put out for their 20th anniversary, I think, and they talked about it in there. They're like, nothing changed. The disc is just the code that you would get digitally, which, I mean, I still don't know how much I fully understand that to this day, because I'm like, I literally just went to a used game store a couple weeks ago and got Assassin's Creed Mirage. So I don't know how if it was just one code. So how is it working on my console now? I don't get it. But
fuck, I hated Mirage.
I haven't even started it. I've been so busy. I
liked it.
Yeah. I haven't even started it. But I'd say that's probably my hottest take, because I didn't think it was that wild, and especially after watching the documentary, I'm like, it makes even more sense to me now than it did back then. I'm like, yeah, like I remember it took me back to a time where I forgot Netflix was the only app being used on the 360. Like, the 360 was the only one utilizing the Netflix app. And I remember being a kid and like, going, my dad would always be like, hey, Nathan, you should bring the Xbox in here. And like, I'd have to stop what I'm doing. I'm like, and I had to unplug everything, bring it to the living room, and we'd all have a movie night watching Netflix on the, that was just so cool. I'm like, finally, my dad appreciates my Xbox. But like, I just kind of forgot about that. So it kind of made sense going into that. And not to mention, I was geeking out over the HDMI input on that thing. I was like, this is really sick, because back when that came out, I was excited for Assassin's Creed 4. That's all I played on release. And what I would do is I'd sit there and go on the collectathon and get all the stuff that I need and like unlock everything, and I'd be sailing on one side of the screen while I snapped on the other side of the screen Dexter, and I was watching Dexter at the time, and I'm like, I can't do this on PS4. Like, I love that. And not to mention, I'll never forget Dead Rising 3. Like, the night the Xbox One came out, and me and my buddy popped that in, and the first thing it has you do is call over zombies. So that the way they like vocally call over zombies using the Kinect, and they fall into the pit. I thought that was the coolest shit ever. Like, I was like, man, video games are evolving, and like, just nobody was buying into it. Like, it just, I just think they were a step ahead of the curb, and if they would have waited, maybe it would have found more mistake. Maybe it would have found more
man,
found more success.
We could probably have an entire segment or show based on this. So if you guys ever have this conversation about like the launch of that thing, I would gladly come on again and discuss.
Oh my gosh, let's do it. I'll never forget the whole entire PS4, like the game fiasco, or he came up and he's like,
the sharing
here's
of the
how
game.
you share on
that was
PlayStation.
funny.
I was like, oh, they're dead.
That was brilliant. That was good.
Okay,
that was a sick burn.
Yes, I think we should
All
definitely
right, so
do
we
that.
played a game this week, right?
Yeah, we played a game
Yeah,
this
we did,
week.
Yeah.
The First Descendant. So let's go ahead, and I want to start out with Russell, actually, because Russell, us talking about wanting to talk about this got you like downloading it and checking it out. And I know you were asking questions about like live service, and you're not super into them. So I'm actually more interested in hearing what's your take as somebody who's not into live service games.
So I've tried my fair share of live service games. Probably the only one that's stuck with me, at least as far as right now, is obviously Fallout 76. Which I don't know if that's a hot take, but that's actually a good game now. It definitely wasn't at
Reach.
launch.
Great.
You're in a
But
safe place here.
yeah, the First Descendant. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's pretty cookie cutter.
It's pretty
I'm
by the
not-
numbers.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not terribly into the looter shooter stuff. I mean, I've tried Destiny 2. I barely remember doing anything in it. And looking at my Steam library here, I know there's plenty of other ones I've tried too. But I mean, it's okay. I had MSI Afterburner running through my playtime on my PC and on my Steam Deck. There's definitely some performance issues that need to be solved. Which hopefully, I mean, they released that patch today. I mean, it's all right, I
It's a
guess.
game.
It definitely, it definitely needs to be. So there's, and I don't know I don't know how common this is in the looter shooter stuff. It's kind of strange. I think parts of the game hold your hand too much, and then other parts like don't do it enough. It seems really strange to say that, but maybe I am not like super into the genre.
Yeah, you
mean-
made a comment in the Discord that you weren't able to see the mission markers, and it's confusing because you don't really know if it's bugging out or if it's something that they just don't present to you in a kind of like intuitive manner.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know, and part of it might have been so the story definitely didn't. My issue is in all games, if the story doesn't grab me, I'll kind of like mentally check out a little bit, and so like if it told me, my issue was I think you were supposed to teleport to one of the other maps and then talk to Bunny, I guess, and I was
Mhm.
having a hard time like comprehending how to do that, and I probably just like it probably said it somewhere in there, and like I was listening to the story and just like mentally checked out for a minute, and it probably said, "Hey, bring this up and go over here," and I just
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah,
That's
I'm just
that's
gonna
kind of a
say,
thing
I
it does, yeah.
didn't even realize there was a story.
No.
yeah. I had a
So-
similar.
Oh, thank
I
God.
had a similar issue, and this might be a hot take, it might not, but I had a similar issue when I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn, in that the story didn't grab me, and so in the tutorial it would be showing me things that I'd mentally check out for 30 seconds and then be like, oh wait, what did it show me? So
Yeah.
like I have issues with that with certain games because they don't grab my attention.
Some
Yeah, there's
games do
so-
that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this game has taken bits from so many other games and just kind of jammed them all together. And you're right, it doesn't quite work. There's things in it that you're just like, what is this? Why am I? This is a looter shooter, but now I'm building a gun that's going to take 12 hours to make. Like,
Mm.
this is a
The
looter
best-
shooter, not a crafting game.
The best thing I can say about this game is, for some reason, it's probably the mechanics of the way the character works. It made me really want to play Pow World.
Really?
It's
So yeah,
That's a
That's a dumb
comparison I
That's
never
great.
thought I would see.
no,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, and now if anyone's wondering, as far as Steam Deck, I know it's not verified, so it's not really fair to criticize this. But let me hold on. What are the PC specs for this thing? I've got Steam pulled up here. I think I
No
have it.
clue. While you're
'Cause, like,
pulling that up, I'm gonna I do admit, I don't even think this is a First Descendant issue. It's a lot of free to play games in general. Is that tutorial vomit that they send up to you very quickly
Yeah.
with screens and text, And that's they lose me too, because they'll pop something up, and sometimes they don't even have you do it, and then you're not going to remember that, especially when it's a lot of it's given to you up front. Like it was down. Oh no, Xbox was down on one of the days this week. I can't remember which day it was. It was pretty much out the entire day. So I downloaded on PS5 and I did the tutorial part, and I didn't even know what half the abilities did, because it tells you quickly how to do them, and then you fight like 3 enemies, and then like that's it. And I'm like, well, I don't really know what these do. And then when I retried it on Xbox, I was like, okay, I'm gonna read through and slowly and make sure to actively try these, like be conscious of it, and then it kind of clicks. But yeah, I totally hear you on that. Like, and that's not. I don't think that's a First Descendant problem. I think that's usually these free to play games. They want you into these mechanics quick so they can try to hook you quick. But with people like me, and it sounds like possibly you guys, that doesn't work with me. If anything, that makes me not want to play the game.
Yeah. Especially if those tutorial things are 4 or 5 pages long.
Yeah.
And you read the bit and you're like, all right, next page.
Yep.
It's all right. And then by the 3rd page, you're like, just get it going. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. And then you're like, wait, how do I get up there?
Yeah, exactly. What, grappling hook? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's grappling hook.
What did you end up finding with the PC specs?
So looking at the PC specs, the lowest said it says GPU 1050 Ti, which is pretty comparable to a Steam Deck. What I was gonna say is it's not really fair to criticize with it. I'm looking at the Steam page. It's not verified. It doesn't even bring up the Steam Deck. It doesn't say whether it's supported, whether they're going for it. I don't know. And I know there's like some filing things you got to do with that. It plays. It holds 30 FPS if you turn on the AMD upscaling. It literally looks like the Witcher 3 port on the Switch. Like it literally on the Steam Deck. I tried it a few hours ago. It looks like an oil painting on there. It looks bad.
Right.
So
it looks good on consoles. I thought that was a plus for it. I mean, Unreal Engine 5 is starting to hit its stride on consoles, and I'm loving it. Like
apart
they
from
look
that
good.
lip syncing, right? That lip syncing is terrible.
Yeah, definitely.
So
it ran great. I haven't tried it on Xbox. It ran great on my PC. But and it looked great on there. But yeah, as far as Steam Deck goes, again, it's not super fair to criticize it for it, but I just thought I'd bring it up for anyone that might be trying.
Yeah, there's a lot of Steam Deck users, man.
Yeah.
So there's that's
absolutely.
important for some people.
It can be played and it's free, so there's that at least.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most important thing to remember is it's free.
Right? They came out with some numbers last week about the percentage of like controller users on Steam, and they included the Steam Deck as a controller for Steam. And they said that 10% of Steam users are using a Steam Deck.
Really?
So that's a significant number. Yeah.
That's amazing. Fraser, what's been your... Oh, no, go for it.
No. I'm talking too much now.
No. Don't worry about that. You go.
No,
what were you saying?
I was gonna say just I know that the Steam Deck, like as far as Linux users go, the percentage of Linux users jumped a lot once the Steam Deck came out. I think there's been a couple million sold or whatever, which doesn't sound like a lot, but like Linux's market share is like somewhere around 1% or something. So a couple million more users is pretty big as far as operating
and it's not an impulse buy product at all. Like, it's not the Switch. No, it's hefty. I've looked into them. And I'm like, nah, I don't play.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah. The Steam Deck is the reason that I have a PC now. So it was the beginning of me like getting away from Xbox. Not that Xbox is still great. I mean, but I got the taste of the freedom of a PC, and now I don't want to let it go.
Yeah. I do really want to upgrade my PC, especially now with all this YouTube stuff. I really want to. I mean, I feel like I'm hitting some roadblocks with editing and stuff, so it would be really nice to be able to have a nicer computer. And Steam Deck, I'm sold on it. Like, I really, really want one. Primarily because even though I have like a 2-bedroom apartment, like I got kids, so like it's really like the idea of my kids taking up the TV I'm exhausted from work and I just got home, and just being able to plop on the couch and play Diablo from the Steam Deck sounds amazing. Like that sounds like heaven to me.
Yeah. My only concern about them is just their longevity. Like if I buy one now, a game in a year, a new game that comes out in a year, am I going to be able to play it, or am I going to have to buy another Steam Deck? Are they upgradable? I don't know enough about them.
They're not upgradable.
Well, there's only been. I mean, if you're talking about from like a GPU standpoint, certainly not. You can upgrade the if you're handy like I am. I bought the 64 gig one and put a 250 whatever SSD in it. So you can upgrade like certain things, and I put Hall effect sticks. But if you're talking about GPU and CPU and all that, no, you're stuck with what you're stuck with. As far as new games that come out, I mean, we are getting to the point where it's definitely like a lot of new games like aren't technically supported, but some of them there's ways to run them. It just depends on the game and what the minimum specs are, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Cool. Fraser, what's your thoughts and opinions on the First Descendant so far?
So I played the beta, however many months ago that was, and I really enjoyed it. There wasn't a lot to do. There's definitely a lot more to do now. I feel I don't like the grappling hook. I think it is horrible to use.
Yeah.
I actually think it's somehow worse than the beta. In the beta, you could actually like.
It was
I don't know
worse than it is now.
No, the beta was better. It's worse now.
That's what I'm saying. It's worse than the beta. Oh, it's better. It's better. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So like, I'm finding that I'll fire my grappling hook up somewhere, and I just hit the wall and drop. And it's like, what? What is this?
Yeah. Like I've made sure I have to jump as soon as I hit the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the movement while you're shooting and the fighting is fun, but the traversal platforming stuff is horrid. I'm not enjoying that part at all. I find like the double jump, you just don't jump far enough, and you have to like really get those jumps like perfect. And they're trying to get this fluid movement going, but the mix of like a terrible grappling hook and the weird jumping, I just can't get it. It just doesn't.
And the grappling hook takes you to a hard stop if you don't get a good. Like, there's no leeway. It's like you nail what you're trying to do, or you're dead in the tracks. Like, you clip onto a building, you're stopping. There's no like assistance to like bring you around. Yeah, it can kind of be frustrating.
Just the shooting and the abilities are great. The shooting feels fun. The abilities, the abilities are like they're big and flashy, and they do stuff.
So like I have a question for you, because this will lead into probably what you're about to say anyway. I'm not too far into it. I think I hit like level 6 or something like that. And the abilities are kind of just they're at their basic level. So when you level them up or you get more, they are more flashy and like kind of like bigger.
Yes. So the more you level up that particular character, your abilities get stronger and better. Which character did you go with first?
I messed around the first time I gave it a shot. The story I played with I guess I would call him like the stereotypical dude guy, like the basic soldier dude. And then the one I got to like level 6 is the girl. I can't remember her name. The one who freezes stuff.
That was the one that I chose as well. She just looked cool, and the ice powers were really fun. In the beta, you got to play with a lot more characters, and it kind of sucks how you have to choose one, and like then you're stuck with that one for ages.
Oh, really?
A long time. You like, I don't want to give too much away, but like, eventually you unlock the other characters, but fuck, it's a grind. It's not
but
like.
But can you pay to open them up sooner?
Oh, yes, you can.
There it is.
Yeah. But I mean, Warframe's been doing that forever.
Yeah.
Like it's more of like a pay for convenience or rather than like a pay to win. Like someone. Like I would consider myself. I've got quite a lot of time to game, so I can put in the hours to unlock these things. But if someone's only got a few hours and you have to put in, say, 10 hours to unlock the next character, well, that's fucking heaps of time then. If I pay $5 for 10 hours worth of content, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
But the price is massive. The price is fucking massive.
I didn't even check the prices, to be honest with you. I didn't even go to that screen. I mean, I brought it up by accident, but
I heard somebody else say it, and I was like, "Oh, that can't be right." But then I went back and I double checked. I'm like, "Nope, that's right." So basically, because at first I was hearing all these complaints surrounding the microtransactions, and my first thought was like, "Oh my gosh, here we go again! Complaints about a free-to-play charging you, huh? That's weird."
yeah.
But so that was my first thought. But then I go in and I actually look at what they're charging, and it's like you can get a $5 bundle of coins, right? And this is like 200 coins or 250 coins, so something like that. But each character costs 300, and it's $10 to get 500 coins plus 20 extra coins. So you spend $10 to get a character, but it doesn't leave you enough leftover coins to literally buy anything else. Like, even if you want to get accessories for that character you just bought, you don't even have enough to do that. So, like, yeah, I can see where people are having an issue with it, because I personally can't, because I told myself it's a free-to-play game. I'll get one character. That's what and then if I really like it, then I'll buy more. But no, I can't even bring myself to do that. I'm like, yeah. But anyways, go ahead.
I bought the battle pass, like you say. Like it's a free game. $15 for the battle pass for me. If I'm going to pay $15 for a game, I'd pay $15 for a game anyway. So I bought that battle pass. But yeah, I was looking into some of the other stuff. They've definitely made a change to the microtransactions. But before, you used to have to say you'd buy a character, and then you'd have to buy the paint to paint the character. But you couldn't choose the color. It was a randomly generated color.
Oh, really?
Oh my god.
So
That's fucking weird.
Yeah. So, but they've scrapped that. They axed that pretty fucking quick.
Okay. Yeah, that's horrible.
But like, yeah. So I love the speed at which you get loot. I think that's brilliant. You're just getting loot fucking all the time. And then you're getting resources to then eventually build better guns. So it's almost like you use what you find on the battlefield, and then you go home and then you make something with that. But again, they've done that whole Warframe thing, and the thing that I hate about all these crafting games is it takes real time to build something. So the first character you get to build, they give you like a free speed up boost. So you can get that like straight away. But then the next one you do, it takes 4 hours. And it's like
and then how much is a speed up boost to buy if you wanted to
exactly.
do that?
It's a few hundred coins.
Yeah.
And like Nathan said, the coins are like $5 for 200 coins.
See, that's add up. I am totally fine with free to play having microtransactions.
Right.
I think that's 100% fair. They're doing something. They're not doing this for a charity. They're not making a game to be like, hey, you know what? We don't need money. And I'm the type of person, and this is totally a me problem. I don't like not having access to content, even if I know I'm not going to touch that content. So I don't like the idea of I can't just give them $70 just to have everything if I want that option. Or that if I play this game for a year or two, I could potentially put like $250 into this. So it makes a full price game exponentially more pricey. And that's where I have the issue with stuff like that, where they nickel and dime you for like every little thing to get more than full price of like a AAA game. That's where I kind of stand on my hill and be like, fuck that, get off my lawn. I'm old. I'm not used to this shit. Old man yells at cloud type stuff over here. But that's the way I feel. Like, even if a free-to-play game I really like, but that's such like a shot to my gut when I see that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh man. And almost all of them have that to begin with. Like even Halo Infinite, like it was a mess with microtransactions when it first came out. They've done a lot better with it lately. But even then, I was still like, I want that stuff. And you know what? I threw them some bucks here. I got the battle passes. I think the battle passes, when done right, are good. Helldivers 2 did it well too.
Yep.
Um, from the get go. But how's the battle pass going with this one? Do you feel you're getting stuff from it at a decent rate and it's worth it?
No.
Okay.
You
Simple
get,
no.
Simple no. You get a gun straight off the bat, but the gun is level 0, so you have to spend resources to build it up to whatever level you are. So straight away, you know, like
that sounds like a hell of a battle pass there.
So that's why, because that was a question I was going to ask you. Is that why they have the same gun every 10 tiers? Is because every 10 tiers you unlock the same gun, but this one's leveled up?
I think it might be a different skin. I don't.
No, it's not. Because
It's not.
I went through the battle pass and
go.
I'm like, so what's level 10, 20, 50, 40, what? It's all the exact same gun. And as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, that's what's different. Because I was trying to look for the differences, because that was something I saw, like, well, in our chat, you guys were talking about, like, oh yeah, we'll see how the battle pass plays out. So I've been keeping an eye on it, and I'm like, yeah, no, this doesn't look like it's worth like $5 of my time. Like I wouldn't drop $5 on that battle pass, in my opinion.
Yeah, like it's full of like XP boosters, cosmetic colors.
Can you get coins from it that you spend to buy characters and stuff
you
like that?
can.
I'm not sure.
It's like 25 coins every 10 levels. So, and a character costs 300. So if you're spending, you're definitely not making your money back. It's not Fortnite. Like, you wouldn't be able to get all your V-Bucks back.
Gotcha.
Or even the Call of Duty battle pass. You earn enough coins to buy the next battle pass. That's always so if you get through it, they reward you, like, hey, you know what, here's something. Because they probably hope that then you'll buy another skin that's not in the battle pass or something. They'll send more, which does work. I have a buddy who does that all the time. So I've put in some significant amount of time. I don't know what the total time is, but I've got four characters unlocked.
Oh, really? Which ones?
I've got the main girl, like the first ice girl that you get. I unlocked Bunny. I unlocked the poison girl, and there's like a guy with like a trench coat that has like flamethrower arms. So those are the four that I've unlocked. They're all very different and play very differently, and I'm having loads of fun with it. But yeah, back to the battle pass thing. I've put some time in it, and I think my battle pass is at like level 4. Like, it's so slow.
And how many is it? Like 50?
100, I think.
100, okay. All right.
Yeah, and I don't want to be given levels every match or every 10 minutes, but I do want something.
You need to have those numbers go up. That's what gets the people. You want to see that ding. That was the problem with Halo Infinite. Once you were done with your weeklies or the dailies, your experience barely ever moved. So people at least give that something to, because like, we like numbers. We like things to go up. High number mean good.
Yeah. Give me a ding, like the Borderlands leveling up. Ding, and you're like, yes!
Yeah, exactly. Fucking explode with fireworks, make everyone see it, be like, yeah, stand there like, yeah, motherfucker.
That's right.
Just went up a level.
If you're not getting that constant endorphin boost, it's like, what am I here for?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, at the source, aren't most live service games like in effect kind of a casino, and that you're gambling with XP and you want things to go up?
Yep, that's how they get you. That's why a lot of places ban them, certain like loot boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, and then the last thing was, what was I going to say? Oh, yes, the last thing was, at the start, when you join a mission, and if there's other people doing the mission, you kind of just join them. Cool, that's great. But the further in I got, I spent maybe 2 hours just solo. Like, you cannot tell me that there's no one in the entire world doing this mission with me right now. Like, So
Yeah.
there's something wrong.
There's a lot of
with
people
the-
playing it.
Weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
cross-platform too, right?
Exactly. So the fact
Yeah.
that I couldn't join games, or maybe I didn't figure out how to do it, but I was definitely joining games at the start, and I'm not anymore.
I
That's so
play in
weird.
private, so I haven't played with anyone.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It gets
Yeah,
hard, bro. It gets real hard playing
Well,
playing
I
solo.
can
Playing solo.
imagine.
And then the other
I
thing.
can. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, man. No,
No, you're
you
fine.
go.
I was just gonna
the
say,
last. Oh,
maybe I'd feel a little bit different about. So again, I'm not typically into live service games. I did get into Halo Infinite quite a bit, and maybe if I had like friends playing this one, like no one I know personally or like online seems to have any interest in this thing at all. So
Really?
maybe, yeah. So maybe if I had friends playing it, like maybe I'd feel more compelled to try it a little bit more. Like that's what's. I used to hate Halo back in the day. I've since I played Halo Infinite the last couple of years, I've actually started liking Halo, and I've gone back and played some of the older games and loved them. Just because I had friends playing the multiplayer online. So maybe if it's a live service game hits and a bunch of people play it, and those people bring their friends, and maybe if that was happening in my circles, I'd feel different about it. But I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't feel compelled because I don't have a lot of friends, and there's nothing the game is offering that like I couldn't get elsewhere. Which is kind of the curse of a lot of games these days, but particularly live services. They're just kind of, I don't. Maybe they'll change something. I think something definitely needs to change if they want staying power with this thing, though. Maybe balance out the microtransactions a little more. It sounds like I haven't messed too much with them. But yeah, it's definitely kind of paint by numbers to me and pretty buggy.
Yeah, that was really well put. I like that. What were you going to say, Fraser?
I think that the last thing I was going to say is I do have a friend that I've been playing with on and off, and when we are in the same party, we both need to start the mission. So you know how there's a little mission, like little dongle thing, you have to run up to it and you hold down whatever button it is and you join the mission. So he would run off somewhere on the map and join a mission, and then all of a sudden he'd be in the mission and I'm not. We're still in the same team, but he's got markers and people to kill and things to do, and I have to like run off and find where he is and join that mission from that same little dongle and then catch up to him. So it's very, very weird.
That's some Xbox 360
From Software
levels
thing.
of shit. Yeah, that is.
That's weird.
No, go for it.
Sorry, One Dragon, you go ahead.
Oh, no. So I was actually going to rewind us a little bit because you were talking earlier, Jeff, about the fact that like you were talking about the money that goes into it, right? And how you were saying, you could spend 2 years into it and spend $200 and there isn't a package. I was going to add on to that the fact that there's not a package where you can buy all the characters. There's just the coins. So, like, they've made it in just a way where, yeah, you are going to be forced to either spend hundreds of hours of time to unlock the characters or buy them individually with the coins, which is going to cost more than $100 for sure. Easy.
Yeah.
Then they've got the Prime characters, which, you can unlock. I can't imagine it's easy to unlock, but those bundles are
5,000 coins.
Yeah,
5,000 coins.
What's the
That's
difference?
like
You get to pick the color you want them to be? Is that how they get you? Oh, I can pick my color? Sweet.
I don't know.
$100.
But to add on to that, because the one thing I was going to comment to that is, let's just say you really dig the First Descendant. Let's just say any game, Warframe or whatever it is that game a solid enough game? Let's say you drop $60, $70. Is it solid enough to be a fulfilling experience? Is there a full-blown video game experience in this game to be had that's worth $60, $70, let alone $200? Like, I feel like that's a question you should ask yourself when getting into a free-to-play game and knowing you're going to start dropping money, because my closest friend, he definitely dropped like $300+ into Warframe. But you know what? Yeah. He has put the fucking time in. Like, he's got his money worth.
How much I've spent on Warframe.
Yeah, he got his money worth. He had a great time, so...
if you're putting $300 and you think about it, like if it's an ongoing game, like Warframe's been out for how long? Like 10 years,
definitely over a
probably
decade.
more.
It
Yeah,
was
like it's
like
been a long
the
time,
first
and it
year of
was
Xbox One that it came out, I think, right?
yeah, and it was rough when it first came out. I know it's almost like a different game now, but if you're playing it for that long, $300 isn't that much, especially if you're not spending it on other games. And you can look at it as like I'll go back to Erdtree because it's my favorite game of all time, and I damn well will say, bring up Elden Ring again. It was like 40, $50 for the expansion, and when you look at it that way, it's not. If that were to have like some level of that can be playing year after year, not a big deal. My issue with these games is if they don't stand out on their own, and kind of like what Russell said, there's your time can be spent playing a better game for even marginally more money and get a full experience. I said in the chat in the Discord that right when I started playing this game, the game it reminded me of was Outriders, like almost immediately. And I really liked Outriders, and I know Fraser said he liked it too.
Yeah.
I really liked that game. And that was a full price game when it came out, or it was like maybe $10 cheaper. But actually, it was on Game Pass. Actually,
Yeah.
Because I think I went back to try it today, and I was like, wait a second. I was like, oh, that's right. But it's like $30 or whatever it is right now, and I feel like just the $30 is you're getting more than you probably would get spending $30 on this, and it just feels like a better game. Or like the Division 2, how cheap can you get that on now? And you want something more sci-fi, you can go for like there's a bunch. And if the money thing is an issue and you just want to play free to play, then go for it. I think this is a fine game. It wasn't offensively bad or anything like that. I actually had fun playing it. I just thought after I was done like those few levels, I was like, okay, I see what they're going for here. I'm personally not going to invest in it right now because it's not standing out to me of something that I already own. That does it better. That I don't have to worry about how much money I'm going to put into it to open up stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I sit on it. I don't think it's bad by any means. I actually think it's better than average for what it's trying to do. It's fun. The mechanics are fun outside of the grappling hook. Like you guys all seem to agree. The grappling hook is trash. The shooting is fun. The enemies seem fun. You get that nice pops when you like get headshots and stuff like that, and sparks fly around. So, yeah.
So
I think the thing with the microtransactions, back to that, is actually everything that is in the store is available to get in game. Like you don't have to buy them to get them. But
True.
If you want it now, you have to buy it.
But that's the thing. That's where my thing comes in, where it's like I can wait forever or buy it now. But with other games that are more expensive at launch, you get the stuff quicker and you're not paying more.
Right.
You're getting the best out of both worlds. Like Helldivers 2, like we live in a post Helldivers 2 world right now, and that game did it so well off the launch. And I bought the first battle pass for Helldivers just because I was like, I'm gonna I like this game. I really liked it when it first started, and then I realized you really don't need to if you don't want to, and you open up stuff at a pretty good rate that you don't have to spend that much more money on, or if any money on. And if this is as bad as what you were saying, Fraser, then I don't think it's. I don't think I would be putting more time into it. I'd be like, no.
I was going to ask,
thanks.
how much time have you put into it so far?
I couldn't tell you. Oh.
Well, both of you guys, for that matter, because I tried sitting here and looking up Fraser. I tried looking up how many hours you put into it. But like,
I can't even remember how you check. You check with the.
You go to stats if you're on Xbox.
Yeah.
Achievements and stats. But that's also a rough estimate because my in-game clock for some games are way off from what the Xbox clock says. I'm probably about not long, maybe 2.5, 3 hours combined between the two. So not long.
So you haven't even gotten to the point of like, oh, it looks like you can unlock the Bonnie character.
I did get that. I did get that far. Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Well, the mission I'm doing now is getting the parts to do that, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense because I've put probably 4 to... No, hold on. I think mine says I put 7 hours in to the game this week. And I've gotten to the point where I did kind of the first... I mean, I wouldn't even call it a strike. as much as it is like every time you hit like
Oh.
level 10, you do a boss battle and like everybody hops in and like you fight this one thing and it's like just
Yeah.
this
Like that
massive
giant crab thing
Yeah.
with the
Yeah, in
minigun.
Destiny.
So
Yeah.
I beat that, and then it was like, you don't have enough materials to make the character. So then I go back, and it has me do this one mission on repeat, where at the end of the mission, I'm not a big fan of this mission. I'm like, this mission is, I can tell, supposed to be a strike, from like Destiny. Like, that's how it's built. That's how it's structured. And then you reach the end, and you have to fight this guy, and he's just a bullet sponge. 3 health bars, just sitting there. It's like, it's boring as hell, and I think it's like I'm having fun with the gameplay, but like to sit there and not get, I'm not getting an endorphin hit off of shooting this guy. Like there's
bullet
nothing.
Sponges are not fun.
No, they're just not. Like there's nothing from hitting this guy, and it got me thinking. Like after playing this game, it got me thinking about like, well, then why is it I love games like Destiny 2 so much? And I'm like, you could at least mix it up with throwing in a little bit of enemies. And because I'm trying to pinpoint exactly from a game developer standpoint, how do you get a game to not feel like a bullet spongy type game? And I feel
especially
like,
when you level up and stuff.
especially when you level up and stuff. But like, there's no major effects coming from me landing hits on this guy. There's no major
it's
effects.
the feedback.
Coming. Yes, the feedback from it. There's diversity in the combat flow and how it flows, because, and when I say boring, it sounds harsh, but at the same time, like, I kind of want it to sound harsh because I'm shooting this guy for what feels like 10 minutes and I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just walking around in circles around this guy, just constantly shoot, reload, shoot, reload, mission over. Like I didn't die once. I haven't died once in this game, and I'm just like, so it's just Sorry, go ahead.
Well, you clearly didn't buy the fun with this game package that was on the marketplace, dude.
Yeah, right.
That one was lacking, and you. That one might be in next week's battle pass or next month's battle pass.
Yeah.
What was
the
your
melee sucks too? Sorry, I had to get that out. The melee in this game is not good. At least not at the beginning.
What melee?
Yeah, exactly.
R and B, LB, right bumper, left bumper at the same time to do one punch, and then you have to wait. It's bad.
And that's the thing with those type of games. You need that with shooters. You need to have the up close and personal stuff. That's not just a shotgun. Even if it doesn't do a lot of damage, that looks cool. Like in Destiny, like I didn't play too much of it, but there's that. I was the warlock, and once I opened up, there was my melee could like basically I can't remember if they disintegrated or if something happened. It was like a purple blast. This is in Destiny, the first one, I think, or might have been Destiny 2. Vanilla ass Destiny. And once I got that, and that was pretty early, it totally changed my enjoyment of just the melee combat alone. I was like, this is fucking awesome. Yeah. Because you're doing a bunch of different shit. And you're changing it up. You're not strafing around a crab for 10 minutes.
No, I actually think you might have made a mistake with that one, Nathan, because when you kill that boss, you choose the loot, so you can choose which one you want. So you shouldn't have had to do that crab boss more than once to get that piece for Bunny.
It wants me to go back to the one where you shoot the dude you're in a cave and he's got like the 3 bubbles above his head that protects him.
So weird.
Yeah, it wants me to go back, and it's saying that's where the materials I need are. I've played it twice. I played that mission 2 or 3 times now. So weird. And I'm not getting the materials.
I've never replayed a mission ever.
Really? Huh.
And I just checked, and I've put 7 hours and 9 minutes into it.
Dude.
And by the sounds of it, I am so much further ahead than you.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't understand it.
Right.
It's been having me replay missions a lot. Actually, I don't understand why.
Yeah. It sucks.
So
better than Redfall.
Hey. I think did you have anything more you wanted to say on it, Jeff?
I don't think so. I don't think it's that bad. I think if it's free, try it out.
Yeah.
If you're into that kind of stuff, go for it. It's just I have too much stuff in my backlog and stuff to play that I don't think. And I'm all down for doing like a game night or something to get like people to talk to and play co-op. But at that point, you're not playing the game because it's good and it makes it more fun. You're playing it because you like the company that are in the chat with you.
Exactly.
That's basically what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Anything could be more fun in a party. But for that kind of stuff, I think it's fine. It fits the itch if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah,
for sure.
For me, it's too similar to Warframe, and Warframe does it better.
Yeah. I need to
that's
download one. I should try Warframe again. I haven't tried it.
I have
like 8
put
years.
so many hours into Warframe. I reckon I've spent maybe $2,000 or $3,000 on it.
Oh wow!
Damn.
From launch, or were you late into the game? He's like, just yesterday. Downloaded yesterday. It's great.
maybe 6 years.
Oh, okay. So you've been okay. Yeah.
But
you've been giving her on this one.
Yeah, the way that they do it is there's this premium currency which you can buy, but then once you use that premium currency, you can use it in game to buy and sell pieces of armor and equipment to other players.
Oh.
And so you can do all the grinding you want, and then you can sell a certain piece of item to then buy the next thing. And so, and then also the way they do it is like if a new Warframe comes out or a new Prime frame comes out, they release a package with all the new things. So a couple of new guns, the new Warframe plus premium currency. So it's kind of just feeding. You can play the entire Warframe and it will cost you nothing. There's never been a paid expansion. It's all free, and everything in the game is achievable by playing.
So do I have to watch like 36 hours of YouTube tutorials to figure out how to start like Warframe for beginners?
The game is so different now than when it started. Like you just be able to jump in and just have fun. It's fucking ninjas in space.
I know, it's a fucking great concept, man.
Yeah. And it's so fast. And I think they're up to like 57 different Warframes now.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea it got that big.
But there's a few. And like I'm not max rank, but the way that you level up in the game is by leveling up a weapon to max rank. So the whole point of the game is to max rank every single weapon in the whole game. So
that seems like it might take a while.
Oh yeah, 6 years.
6 years.
And then they just keep adding stuff. So you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, I've got to get in again.
Yeah.
Do you have like a regimen, like you play it on certain nights type of deal? Like...
I'll drop it for a year, maybe, or 6 months, and then I'll go hard on it for 6 months.
Okay.
And I just like I've just put it down after a few months of solid play. But yeah, it's fun. Right. It's a lot of fun, and it's completely cross-platform. So if any of you ever want to play it, I am down.
I might need a Sherpa, so I might take you up on that.
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the First Descendant has me craving, Warframe now. So because I got to a point where I was like, am I gonna install Warframe? It's funny because now that we're here, we're all talking. I really thought I was going to come to the table with some different takes, but it sounds like we're pretty much all on the exact same page, because I am beyond relieved to hear that I'm not crazy and thinking that, like, no, I'm going to get a better experience somewhere else. Why am I putting my time here? And it's and it sucks because I, like Casualties put it, and I like I said earlier, you put it really well when you said it, Russell, because I'm like, pretty much every game right now is fighting for your time. It's fighting for your attention. And I'm not getting the feeling that the First Descendant is putting up a good fight for my time, because I am thinking a lot about Warframe. I'm like, okay, this is a cool hybrid between Warframe and Destiny. There's definitely some characters that are clearly ripoffs of Overwatch characters. And so I'm like, I'm digging the vibe of it. I don't mean what I just said. I mean that as a compliment. Like, even like the, as somebody who's still playing the Final Shape, right? I am kind of going back and forth between the First Descendant and Destiny 2. Even the cross arrows are exactly the same. because I've noticed that
Wow.
when I was like shooting, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm noticing some of the gunplay is very similar. Even the little reload circle in the center of the screen is like the exact same icon. But I've I've enjoyed it. I've wanted to like it more than I actually have liked it. I think that it
Mhm.
could go somewhere. I think it has the potential. You know, I would love to see where it stands in a year or two from now, but I feel like the
Mm.
state of the industry right now is it's not very kind
It's
to
shit.
games like
No.
these. I mean,
Yeah.
Exoprimal. What it's today, right? That it got
It's
announced that it's
Their
yeah,
last
it's
one.
done.
Yeah.
Battlefield 2042 actually lasted longer. Yeah, that's crazy to think. We live in a world where Battlefield 2042 like is just now ending. But so honestly, in hindsight, that game did really good. But
Mm.
you know, I just I had even commented on Paul Tassi. He tweeted today about the game, and I had he kind of said something along those lines of like, well, you know, I just don't see it holding my attention past this week. And I just said that I don't feel like it's respecting my time enough for
Yep.
me to put in the time. So I was relieved to hear what you said, Fraser, about that, because I'm like, yeah, because somebody replied to my tweet and they were like, well, how is it not respecting your time? It tells you exactly your drop percentage chance of the items you're going to go after. And yeah,
That doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter because I'm like, I'm still going to
Yeah.
put in a ton of time. And it did have me thinking, I'm
Mm.
like, all right, well, I loved Warframe. What's different about me wanting to put the time into Warframe versus me not wanting to put the time into the First Descendant? And for me, I think it's just that I don't have as good of a time. Like, I simply put, Warframe is a more solid game. If I'm going to
Mhm.
sit down at
Mhm.
the end of my day and hop online with my friends, and I mean, I know Fraser's got both games downloaded right now. I'm probably rather, well, not probably, I would rather put my time into Warframe with Fraser. Like
Yeah.
you said,
Mm.
absolutely spot on. It's about the company. Like I'm wanting to play a game with people because I even thought like,
Yeah.
hey, like we should do a community night of the First Descendant since it's free on Saturday night. Like try to get something together.
Mhm.
And then I'm like realizing, oh no, I'm just wanting to put a community night together. I would much rather be
Yeah.
playing Destiny 2.
Playing a yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you said it, man. Like it's like they're vying for our attention. Like
Yeah.
the pie is only like a certain size, and that pie has stayed the same size for a long time,
Yeah.
and the amount of people eating is getting bigger
Yeah.
with all these devs. And if these games, the games of service games, especially the free to play ones, if they're not trying to get our to earn like our time, they're not going to get it by saying give us money and you'll have more fun. That's not the way it should be. It should be
No.
you give us the fun, then we say it's worth it, we will put money in. You fight for our time, not us fighting to make your game worth our time.
Yep. I agree
That's
with
not
that.
cool.
I agree with
Yep.
that. Paul Tassi also put out another tweet after this, and I thought he put it really well, so I wanted to share it with you guys. The quote, "You can unlock everything in the game," unquote, does not really hold sway with me when it's quote, "You can grind for 30 hours battling purposefully terrible drop rates to avoid paying $3 through $15, unquote. At this
Hmm.
point, you're just actively hurting the design of the game itself." And I
Yeah.
I love that so much. I'm like, I've got to share that with y'all because like that kind of sums
Mm.
up my feelings of wanting to put time into
bang
the
on.
game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it sucks because at the end of the day, I, I love how Jeff's just kind of like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad because I feel the same way. I'm like, it's not that bad. I really want to love this game. I love like the different abilities and I can
Yeah,
see
from a
myself getting
mechanic
into
standpoint.
unlocking all yes mechanics. Thank you. Yeah, unlocking all these different loadouts seems like a lot of fun, but I would rather be dropping money from my wallet into buying brand new games and new experiences where I
Yeah.
don't feel like it's asking for more and more money from me. I don't mind putting my time into the game if I'm having fun. It's when I'm
Yeah,
going to
of
put my
course.
time into a game and I'm wondering, am I going to buy this character with my actual real life money and then want to buy more characters 10 minutes later? Like it just becomes an endless pit at that point.
I stopped playing today to do dishes. And I don't know if that's a representation on how I was doing with the game, but I was like, I need to do dishes now. I'm going to stop playing. And it wasn't even
no.
like, usually I will justify not doing the dishes
Yeah.
in my mind. And I was like, no, I think I've had enough.
Oh
All right.
my
Well,
God.
here's a question for you. What do you think would make it better? Like, what is it lacking for us to not? Is it just the fact that there's
Well,
stuff
how
that's
long do you
better?
want this to go on?
Yeah, like
Let's give this
like for
10
me,
20 more minutes.
like for me, it's the time thing, the amount of time that it takes to get something done. If they shortened that time, because obviously what they're doing with the time frame is they're trying to get longevity of this game. They want people to stick at it for years. But if I can't get anything done in a gaming session of say 4 hours, if I sit down for 4 hours and I don't
I
get
think you're being
anything done,
generous. 4 hours. That's pretty good.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, so yeah, so if I can't get anything done in a session, why would I come back to that?
And a lot of us that don't get addicted to these right away don't like them. We are goal oriented when it comes to our gaming time. Like I like to set a goal, whether it's get to another checkpoint in a mission or get to another grace in Elden Ring, or like if I'm playing a fighting game, win a certain amount of matches. Like I set myself a goal that if I don't hit that goal, I just feel like I didn't put my gaming time wasn't worth it. And that's so weird, but it's the way we think. That's like a way a lot of gamers think, and some people might not understand in that context. But yeah, totally. Like, and that's why I said 4 hours. I think that's being fucking generous. That's like, like I haven't beaten Still Wakes the Deep yet. At 4 hours, I could have beaten the game if I was like, I'm going to beat the game in 4 hours. That is an accomplishment. That's like,
Put
all
it
right.
that way, yeah, you're doubly right. I think when you look at Warframe, especially coming from Fraser, who's put as much time into Warframe as he has. I mean, I
just
remember
looked it up. 87 days.
Yep, there you go.
Wow.
I mean,
Jesus.
seriously. I mean, I remember back in the day, and again, this was back when it first came out. I remember spending an entire day going after like one or two parts, hoping for the drop and like praying to God, I hope this drops, and then being able to make the gun, but having to wait 24 hours in real world time for it to finish crafting. And so, I mean, yeah, there's definitely those elements that the First Descendant has, but like, again, when the time sink is so deep and the reward and the you're just not getting those endorphin hits at any moment ever, even in the combat. Why am I here?
Yeah.
Why am I unlocking this game when it doesn't even feel good to like beat a boss, honestly? Like, for me, this goes into a deeper topic for me, because when I look at a game, any game, I want an end goal. I want a good end goal. Like you said, like it's about that goal crap.
Yeah, oriented, like just
being oriented,
or like setting a parameter or something kind of like that. It's just,
Like when I was playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint, my thought the entire game was like, I want to get my character primed and ready to go for a raid. And I never finished a raid, but I was ready for it. That was my goal. And
exactly.
That's how I see it with any game. If I feel like I am time sinking into a game for a goal that is like, I have no idea what I'm working towards, you've lost me. Like, I am, it's very rare for me to drop off of a game. I could count on one hand how many times I've dropped off a game. Because I'm a very, like, I've got to finish it before I start the next chapter, right? But, it's a problem. I've got a problem. Even when a game's bad, I typically push myself. But, I have to have that goal.
Yeah, you're giving yourself that carrot of the stick that the game gives you, but those games, that carrot is attainable. And some of these, you just feel like you see the carrot, you might want the carrot, but when you figure out what you need to do to get it, it's just not attainable. And it's just, it's a turnoff.
So maybe it's the fact that, like Division 2, for instance, I can sit down and play that for a few hours, get nothing done, but still have a brilliant time doing it. So, is it the world? Is the world not grabbing us? Is the
loop? It is kind of generic for me. That's the thing. It goes back to what Russell said again too. When other games are similar and I'm more familiar with or have done it better, then it's kind of like why like
Mm-hmm.
with the Call of Duty thing, like when there were so many Call of Duty clones, it got like Burnout or like Guitar Hero and Rock Band. When they started releasing multiple games every year, everything started to blend in as one thing, and then just like nothing stands out. And this, I feel, has that.
Yeah.
It apes some stuff from Overwatch and Outriders and whatever, and it just doesn't do anything original well that
Yeah.
I've seen. Again,
Yeah.
take my opinion with a huge grain of salt because I'm only like 3 hours in or whatever, like level 6 or I think I'm level 6 or 7, so not that far. But that was enough for me to be like, and rather put some soap in the sink.
Well, whenever you have enough time into video games in general and you got the vibe, you put 3 hours in and you see what other people are saying, you're like, okay, I feel confident enough to talk about this and judge it. And that's,
Dude, I was kind of worried for a second because I thought maybe you guys were really high. I knew Russell wasn't
I
the
was
highest
too.
on it, but I wasn't sure if you guys were. And I was like, I don't like I have no problem. Like, difference of opinion is 100% fine.
Makes for a great
But
podcast.
when it's like, yeah, dude, when we reviewed Tales of Kanzera Zao, and we gave I really liked that game, and I gave it the lowest score out of everybody, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm the guy who's bringing our average down. Like, I gave it a 7 to me is really good. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm not even gonna fucking vote for this month's one because
me neither.
I tried going back to that yesterday and I just couldn't. I'm like, oh, I'm not even gonna give a score for this one because it's gonna hurt.
For me, it's 70 something dollars at the moment.
The
for
game of the month.
Outrider or Outlanders,
Outcast.
Outcast. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's too rich
Expensive.
for my blood at the moment. I would more than happily drop $70 on a game that I knew that I was going to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched some stuff on this and I can't figure out if it's for me or not. I didn't like the first one.
I never played the first one. Yeah.
So
I played this one though for a bit, and it's a game.
There's this month's packed, honestly.
There's way too much coming out.
To answer your question, for me, Fraser, I would have to say it is about the level design. It is about the fact that, like I said earlier when I was comparing that Destiny to Strike versus like what makes the what makes a boss feel spongy versus like when I'm fighting a boss in Destiny 2, that's when I started really paying attention to the level design and how, like, today, for example, like this morning, I did a boss fight in Destiny and I am like doing 20 different things in order to kill this boss. I am grabbing this light shield, then I'm using the light shield to stop these spears from hitting me, and then I'm from there I gotta like go take out these towers so that way I can reflect these bullets and take down the gate. That way I can shoot the weak spot for a little bit, just enough to call upon his help. Then I gotta take out the help, then I can start shooting down his health bar. As opposed to shoot down 3 health bars, end of day, end of story. Like Division 2 was a great example. Division 2 doesn't really do that. I've got some friends who said Division 2 felt bullet spongy and they didn't like it, but I felt like it deserved better than that, but I can see where they would feel it's bullet spongy. But yeah, I bet better level design and better indication, like, I don't know what they could do better to, I haven't given it much thought, but they gotta make me feel better about the combat. Like, it feels great. I love it. I love the way it feels, but like it's got to feel better when I take out an enemy. It's got to feel better when I take out a boss. You can't work up to this strike mission, quote unquote, like strike mission, and I beat the boss and I'm just like, okay. Like I need to be like,
until the next one.
Yeah, let's go. You know, I didn't feel that at all.
The next one's exactly the same.
Yeah, I believe it.
The next like strike boss thing, it's just instead of a crab, it's some other kind of animal.
Yeah. What about you, Casualties?
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, okay.
As far as this game, you asked what it could do to get me to come. I'm sorry, I haven't really talked in a whole little while. I've just been listening to you guys go on. You asked what it could do to like get me to
keep ya.
play it. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't care about this game. I heard about it. The only reason I really even tried it is because of this.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the Steam page, and I've got 4 friends that have played it. I'm not going to mention names, but one for a little over 6 hours, one for
Mhm.
43 minutes, one for 23, and one for a pitiful 7. If I go over here, and it's again, it's probably not fair to compare it to it, but games are competing for our time. We've brought that up. Over here, I'm looking at Pow World. I have 7 friends that have played it. One for 128 hours, one for 32, one for 24, one for 15. There's another for 10, for 30. You get the idea. My friends are playing a lot of Pow World, and I know they're not really the same game, but like obviously, and I've got 145 hours into Pow World.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Why in the hell am I gonna play that game? Why am I mean, why they're not giving me a reason really to go back to it. Also, strange as it might be, when I bring up the menu for the microtransactions in game, it doesn't make it blatantly obvious how to buy in-game currency, which I thought was kind of strange.
Yeah.
Which I think I just figured out. I was fiddling with the game as you guys were talking. If it looked like I was spacing out.
No.
And I noticed I finally figured out that you have to click on it, and then it'll tell you you don't have enough currency, and it'll ask you if you want to recharge. You have to hit A, and then it'll bring up the currency, and you can buy it. Something in the corner of the microtransaction saying, "Hey, buy currency here." I feel like most games that have in-game currency, Fallout 76 makes it pretty obvious how you buy their microtransaction currency. Most games do. So I thought that was a little odd, but as far as something it could do, I don't know that there is anything.
Be something else.
Yeah,
be another game.
I think you'd have to fundamentally rebuild the thing. So I don't think. I mean, again, maybe it's not fair. No,
that's fair.
It's fair.
Yeah,
I just think
it's
sorry, I just think it's amusing how we started off being like, it's not that bad, it's got its things, and by the end of it, it's like we all just fucking gave it a good old-fashioned Compton beatdown.
We really did. Like, none of us had anything good to say. We want to love this game, but also, fuck this game. It's trash. I am really glad that Casualties brought up the story, because, like, the story, I thought I was dumb. I was like, am I missing something? Am I dense? Because I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I'm not vibing with it at all.
I believe the studio's Korean, so I think
Nexus,
that it's fucking wild.
I was gonna ask if one of you guys, Nexus published it, I think. I was gonna ask if you guys have played their other games.
No.
I mean, they did Dave the Diver, but it wasn't them. That was a different.
No, they must own someone that did Dave the Diver. I was looking at their Steam page and noticed that Dave the Diver was on there, and I was like, "What the hell?" But then they're not credited. They're not credited in the publishing or the dev. So like, I'm guessing they just bought them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play through. I'm gonna play it some more. I don't think I'll finish the battle pass. I will play through the story and see if something grabs me, because I want to like it. I do, because like they say, it's I've put thousands of hours into Warframe. It's got such a Warframe feel to it. I want to like it. I really do.
Well,
so
don't expect me to donate to your GoFundMe for your First Descent habit that you develop over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. So guys, I've set up this thing.
Fraser, what would you say? Let's go ahead and wrap this up, because I actually got to go to work now. But Fraser, what would you say is 1 out of 10? Like 1 through 10, what would you rate your experience so far?
I thought you were gonna say give it a 1 out of 10.
So I'm gonna be reviewing this for the website. So I reckon stay tuned for my review. But at the
Okay.
moment, I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay.
5 out of 10. It's not terrible. I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Just straight up mediocre.
Yeah, there's some fantastic things about it. There's some horrible things about it. I hope that it grabs me.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And Jeff, I know you only put 3 hours in, but based off the information you got, what would you say?
I couldn't give it a score. I would just say the good thing about it being free to play is try it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just go in and be
definitely.
warned. Like,
Yep.
have something else ready in case you don't want to play it, so you can be like, fuck this. I can play something else if you don't like it, and if you do like it, great.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think mechanically, it's not offending. It's not offensive. You shoot people and it feels good. So,
I don't think it's
or you
very
shoot
big either.
robots.
I think
Sorry?
it's like 26 or 27 gig, so it's not
Yeah,
like
I
it's a
don't-
massive
Oh, really?
game
I
either.
didn't notice that.
Yeah.
It's got great optimization and it runs really great on consoles. So I will at least say that next
Not
time.
on not on fidelity mode, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried out the ray tracing mode the other day, and it literally, like in the main hub, would hit like single digits sometimes. I'm like, ooh,
Oh,
this is bad.
yeah.
Mine, I play in performance when I can, but it's I have no problem with frame rate like 30 at all. But ray tracing fidelity mode was not 30.
What about you, Casualties? What's your...
So I would only give a 1 to a game that didn't launch. When you try to boot it up. I don't know if anyone read
Oh,
my
no?
review on
0
Relic
to 10.
Odyssey. Yeah,
On which one?
I did a game called Relic Odyssey recently. It's in early access. I gave that thing a
Okay.
3 out of 10 because it was broken as hell. This isn't that.
Yeah.
4, 5. It didn't really like. It's not. You said the performance was okay on console. There are definitely
Performance
issues
mode
on
is
PC.
fine. Performance
Yeah,
mode seemed pretty locked at 60.
It's got some performance issues in general on PC, and I've ran it with MSI Afterburner, so I could get into the meat and potatoes, but we're not going to do that.
Okay, Digital Foundry.
Yeah, I'm that guy. No, a 4, I guess. It's just really uninteresting. And as far as the story goes, Power World doesn't really have a story, but it is Pokemon and does things that we've wanted in Pokemon for years. This
Murder
game
each
is
other
just
with
you
guns.
said it, not me.
Guns,
it's
I
just
should
like
say.
it doesn't. It's very paint by numbers. It doesn't do anything offensive. I almost feel like if it did something extremely offensive,
It would be worth it.
maybe it'd be better. At least it'd be being talked about, past the next week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? That actually goes into what we need to finish off with is the fact that next week we will be talking about Once Human. And if you hadn't caught last week's episode, make sure to go to our YouTube page and watch our Hypercharge interview with Joe Hansen. And to wrap up this little review thing we're doing here, I would give it a 6 out of 10 because I did love how the game felt. It's just, I mean, based off of everything I'm not going to rehash literally everything we just talked about over the past hour and 45 minutes, but
Wow.
I feel pretty good about it. I think that it's serviceable. I think that it could go somewhere. I could definitely see this being a game that 3 months from now, they've done so many updates and you see people saying you should check it out now, or even a year from now, maybe they do a huge update and people are saying, hey, jump in, this game's great. But I'm not feeling too, if I had to bet my money on it, which I've literally chosen not to put money into it, I'm not going to say this horse is going to go very far.
Yeah.
No,
But
that's fair, bro. That's fair.
Joe, Russell, thank you guys. Oh my gosh, I called you Joe.
That's fine.
I'm trying. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And then do you guys want to share
before
your...
we go,
having me.
Nathan? Oh yeah. Yep.
No, I was just gonna ask for like Twitter handles and
Yeah,
plugins.
I was just gonna, because we always forget
Yep.
that. We always forget the plugins.
Yep.
And then we end and we're like, oh fuck, we didn't do that.
Yeah, we
So
did
I was
do
just
plugins.
I was just about to remind you.
Perfect. We're getting in sync. We're getting like on the same wavelength about this stuff.
You're getting experience every time. You keep leveling up. You just
I need that
and
ding.
you don't have
I
to
need
pay
to-
for it. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, I gotta pay for Podbean and
No, yeah.
some other services.
Yeah, and Pride. That's
But who wants to go first?
it doesn't matter. I guess I'll go. On Twitter, I am Indus Jeff. If you liked my company being here, you can check out. We do a podcast, Interactive Distractions. We've been doing it since 2007. We took a few-year hiatus. One of the founding members, it's Chris, myself, and Jason. He actually worked for Giant Bomb and Game Informer for a while,
Oh, wow.
and got laid off in the Giant Bomb layoffs last year. So we decided to get the band back together after a few years of us not doing it. So it's the three OGs back together again, and then we have a guy named Travis who he filled in for Jason when Jason went to work at those other companies for a while. So we're back. You can hit us up on pretty much all the regular internet places where you can listen to podcasts and YouTube.
Oh yeah.
It's actually, I've been listening for about 8 weeks, about 2 months.
Thank you.
And I really enjoy it. It's a brilliant podcast. And
Thanks, man.
It's
Appreciate
it's
it.
it's very cool to have you on here. Very cool.
Oh, dude, well, you guys will have to come on in this, man. This has been fun.
Yeah,
I would
beautiful.
love that. And then
For sure. We'll make it happen.
And then F-bomb. I think we've shared your stuff, but do you want to go ahead and reshare them again?
Yeah, sure. So you'll find me at F-bomb with an E, so FBOMBE gaming at everywhere. That's just my thing. Currently on YouTube, I am doing my own little bit of like game preservation with the Xbox 360 store closing. I'm going through some of my old back catalog and just jamming some of that. Currently 007 Quantum of Solace. It's fun. I'm having loads of fun with it. I haven't uploaded any of it yet, but fingers crossed I'll have it done by this weekend.
Good.
By the end of this weekend, because it's already Saturday morning.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check in with you on that and Jedi Survivor, but let's not go down that road because we'll not stop. I've got to go.
Now we'll be here again. Not get that like Jedi Survivor side.
And then Russell, your plugins, sir?
I mean, I'm Casualties of Gaming on Twitter at FFDpod. I've got a Twitch that's also Casualties of Gaming. I haven't streamed on it in a while. I've been thinking about getting back into that, so look for that. I had a podcast that I scraped from the internet and shall never return, but that's a story for another day.
And then
Brilliant.
Myself is just One Hot Dragon. I'm One Hot Dragon literally everywhere. Twitter,
You
X.
absolutely
you gotta
are,
use it
Nathan.
yeah. I am sure you saw. I think it's either my Discord. I forget which one it was. On Bungie. It was Bungie. I shared with you my Bungie thing, and I like looked down, and you see like One Hot Dragon, every single one. On all platforms, I am One Hot Dragon, all caps, spaces. X is the only thing where I have underscores instead of spaces because they don't let you use spaces. So that's dumb. But,
Come on, Mr. Musk. If you're going to make one change, give us some spaces.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
I do spell my name the weird way too. It's Geoff. So just to throw off One Hot Dragon again for next time.
Well, the thing is I see you in the chat every single day. You would think I'd be able to remember it by now.
It's Goffy in the chat. My name's actually
That's
Goffy
right.
in there.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not the same as my Twitter.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a pass on that one.
Well, thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys next week.
All right. Catch you around.
Peace.